Welcome to Weight Loss and Wellness for Real, the podcast where people like you get the practical solutions and support you need to permanently lose the physical and mental weight so you can feel better and live the life you want in the body and mind you want. If you're looking to overcome your stress eating, overeating, binging behaviors, and move to a place of freedom with food and your body, you're in the right place. Just a reminder that this podcast represents my own opinions. The content here should not be taken as medical advice. The content here is for educational and informational purposes only. Please consult your doctor or healthcare professional for any individual medical questions you may have. Hello, friends, and welcome. Thanks for being here and sharing in this space with me. I was just thinking this morning, I really love that we can all kind of come together through this media to experience different knowledge and ideas and continue to move us forward in our own personal weight loss, our weight maintenance goals, our health journey goals. Just a reminder, you can head over to my website if you're looking at working with me in this new year. I only take a limited number of online weight loss coaching clients, sort of first come, first serve. And this month is typically when I get a lot of new people who want to work with me. So if you're thinking about it, or you're kind of, this is usually what happens, you're kind of thinking, you had the New Year's resolution and you're sort of a week or two into it here and you're doing great. And then usually what happens is about mid-January into January, things just sort of fall off for people. And so that's usually when they get in contact. So if you're thinking about it at all, it is sort of first come, first serve. So get in touch now and can hold a spot for you for when you're ready to start. And let's see. Well, either way, you can go to my website, heatherheynen.com. Heynen is spelled Heynen. And if you go to like the menu at the top, if you go to select a service, and then if you scroll anywhere on that, then you can, you'll see a spot that says book an appointment. Press that button, enter your information. We can kind of decide if we're a good fit or not. Or you can just email me at info@heatherheynen.com. Or obviously you could DM me on Instagram at Heynen Counseling and Coaching. Anyway, kind of works. Okay, let's move on. Today we are talking all about aging and how we think about aging, what we tell ourselves about aging, and how our thoughts and what we tell ourselves about aging can really, really affect our weight loss and or our healthy habit goals, health goals. So just keep listening because you're going to learn if your brain is kind of telling you things about aging, maybe even a little behind your back, that are maybe creating resistance to weight loss. So if you've been trying to lose weight or keep weight off and you're kind of doing that yo-yo dieting thing, sometimes what I find with clients is they sort of have these self-sabotaging thoughts about aging that is actually keeping them from dropping weight or maintaining their weight loss, making it really difficult to lose weight. And also just kind of can sometimes keep many of us from a normal or healthy relationship with food. And this really can come down to how we're thinking about aging. So I'm going to help you identify if your thoughts about aging are influencing your weight loss. And if so, how to unwind these detrimental thought patterns so you can start to think differently, to create new feelings, and therefore move you into the behaviors needed to lose weight and keep it off at any age that you're at absolutely any age. So I'm talking anyone from their 20s well into their 80s. I've seen it done. I've worked with every age of client. It absolutely can be done. So keep listening to learn more about if aging, your thoughts about aging might be influencing your weight. And sorry, that's my kitty meowing in my ear and yours too. I hope you are finding something useful from these episodes and this podcast. And if so, please share it with someone else in your life you feel it could benefit. This podcast is also now monetized. So if you really feel you are getting a lot from it and want to help keep it going, please go to the episode show notes. You can just scroll down from wherever you're listening. You'll see a description of the episode, and then you will see it says support this podcast. And then there's a link you can click on. You can click on that link, and that's where you can support the podcast. Even the smallest donation, like 99 cents, helps to keep me producing the podcast. And to those of you who have donated, I really, really appreciate the support. I really do appreciate all of you listening and sharing the space with me. Again, just very thankful for all of you. I want you to ask yourself right now, do you pay attention to how you think about aging? And particularly, what do you think about yourself as you age? And many of us don't really realize that our own sort of subconscious self-talk, and remember, that's the self-talk that sort of runs on repeat in the background of our mind. So often we're not aware it's there until we start to do some digging and asking ourselves some questions. The subconscious self-talk is often what holds us back from losing the weight we want to lose and keeping it off, and or creating a healthier mind and body if that's what we're after. And I wanted to do this episode because basically age has been on my mind, as my birthday was last month and I turned 49, which, as you know, is 1 year away from the big 50. And those round numbers that start a new decade are often more layered with feelings. And what I mean is, when you're turning 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, those different decade turning numbers are often more of a big deal in some ways than when we're turning 41 or 53 or 67. So as I'm closing in on 50 this year, it's just been more on my mind. And I really wanted to do this episode because I actually have a very strong belief system about aging. If you know me well, you know this about me. And I have found my belief system or my mindset around aging has really, really served me so well over the years. And so I really want to share it with all of you, because if my experience can kind of bring you some peace and love for aging, then I know you can make the changes that you really want to be making in life. So our thoughts and our words absolutely influence our results in everything in life. And if you've been listening to this podcast for a while, or if you've worked with me personally, I know you get this. How we think, what we think creates our feelings, emotions, which come along with those chemical cocktails that create sensations in our bodies that then really drive or influence our behaviors, what we do or don't do, which then literally create our results in life. So if you think things like, well, I'm in my 40s now, so it's going to be really hard to lose weight, or, well, I'm going into menopause, and so of course I won't be able to lose weight, or any negative thoughts about perimenopause or menopause, or maybe it's thoughts like, it's only going to get worse from here, or, well, I'm 60 or 70 or 80, so why even try to lose weight or get healthy now? It's useless anyway. Or maybe it's thoughts like, well, I'm getting old, can't lose weight, so my metabolism must have slowed down here, because that always happens with aging. By the way, that is not true. I'm not going to get into all the details of the research here, but what we do know is that our basal metabolism does not have to slow down as we age. And there's lots of studies out there on older populations that show our basal metabolic rate doesn't slow down at all if you're living a healthy lifestyle. So our basal metabolic rate can slow down at every age due to the choices we make. It can happen in your 20s or your 60s. There was a good paper published, I think it was the Journal of Science. But if you expect it to, if you expect it to be horrible, if you expect aging to be horrible, or that you can't lose weight when you're aging, well, just remember, our thoughts create our results. People are so committed to the beliefs that gaining weight as we age is due to a slowing metabolic rate, and it's just not true. So this is just a really good reminder to question common beliefs that are out there. The same particular study on the basal metabolic rate not changing as we age, they did note other factors that can contribute to weight gain as we age. So we're going to get a little practical here for a minute. So the number one being losing muscle mass as we age. So we lose a little bit, like I think usually the average that they say is half pound of lean body mass every year after the age of 40. And so that half pound doesn't actually disappear from your body. That half pound becomes adipose tissue or fat tissue, and fat takes up a lot more space than lean muscle tissue. So the fatty tissue is typically 3 times the volume, and is actually less metabolically active than muscle tissue. So the study did correct for this. Bottom line, as you age, you are losing muscle mass. So to prevent that loss, you really want to be lifting weights or doing some sort of strength training. And I had an episode, I think it was only a few episodes back on this. It's episode 105 on strength training and weight loss. So you can go back and check that one out for more details. So keeping muscle mass is huge for aging and weight loss maintenance. And of course, getting in adequate protein daily. I've been preaching this for 20 plus years now. Get your optimal amount of protein in daily, and you can really proactively maintain or even gain muscle mass as you age, which therefore is going to keep your metabolic system humming along beautifully, which can really help with weight loss, weight maintenance as we age. Okay, so back to thoughts about aging. Perimenopause, menopause, aging, it's all a part of being human, and so it's happening. And there are truths to some things. Hormone changes can influence our weight. Our bodies can experience more aches and pains. And I would say to this, yes, that is all true. And how do we focus on creating results for the future versus resigning ourselves to a miserable existence as we age and giving up on our bodies and our goals? And personally, I do see my body changing as I age. There are facts to this, but how I think about it matters so much. If I stay stuck in the negative thinking pattern around aging, how is this in any way helpful? If instead I'm having thoughts and beliefs about the beauty of aging, the way my body is beautiful, the way my body performs, these thoughts create a whole different set of feelings for me, feelings of love and compassion and awe and willingness to continue to treat my body and nourish my body in the best way I can. I actually enjoy what I eat, how I choose to move my body every day, how it looks. And even though it's not perfect, and most of our bodies are not, in fact, we can really choose to love and enjoy our body more and more as it ages. I've been to Europe a few times, and I really took in, I love to people watch. So I really took in, what I noticed a lot of was older women and their confidence and how beautiful they were because of the confidence they exuded. Over there, people, and these are general statements, over there, in general, people are a bit more freer with their bodies. And so at any given beach that we were at, most men were in Speedos at any age, and most women were topless at any age. And I mean any and every age of women. I remember at one beach, it was mostly older women, and I just really loved how their bodies were absolutely not the magazine perfect bodies. And I'm saying magazine because that is how old I am. I was always into looking at those fitness magazines, still didn't have social media, so I wasn't seeing on social media. But, they were not these magazine perfect bodies, and yet they were just so free and confident. So my travels over there started about 20 years ago, and I really think I lucked out with this experience that long ago because it set in my mind that I always wanted to be that way when I was older. Well, I really wanted that freedom and confidence with my own body at that time, but it did take a bit longer for me to get there. But it did show me a precedent with aging about our bodies and how they really can be adored and loved, and we can feel free in them at any size, at any age. So that experience helped shape my thoughts, my mindset around my own aging in general, but as well as my aging body. And I've very much practiced a specific way of thinking over the years about aging. I have really practiced thinking thoughts specifically about aging that it is a beautiful process that is to be cherished, to be treasured, that it brings a deepness and richness to life, that it brings so much more wisdom, which can bring so much more peace and freedom in our lives. So yes, our bodies age, and we can practice thinking in ways that help us love this process and love our bodies as they age. Your experience of your body can get better and better as you age. It does not need to get worse. Focusing on all the amazing things that come from aging brings us feelings of relief and relaxation and reverence. And once we have reverence for our bodies, it's almost effortless to nourish them in healthy ways, to move them in healthy ways, and to really embody our bodies, to really know them and cherish them. Redefining aging for ourselves and what it means to age, including the wisdom and peace that comes along with it, it can really help us move into weight loss, keep it off, and find a relationship with our bodies, and especially with ourselves, that capital S selves, that is loving, peaceful, and relaxed. So my challenge to you would be to check yourself. Pay attention to how you think about aging. Even if you're in your 20s right now, really start thinking about how you think about aging. If you find you think about aging in a way that is really negative or really unhelpful for your goals in life, then it's time to look at a new way of thinking and practicing these new thoughts, feeling the new feelings, embodying your body, and you will really see some magic happen. Your willingness to nourish yourself, to move, to enjoy will create that lasting weight loss or health goals that you have. I really hope you can take something away from this episode and start to incorporate and practice a different mindset, a different way of thinking about aging that uplifts you and brings you to your goals much, much quicker. Thank you for being here and sharing this space with me, and we will talk soon. Did you know you can find a lot more help from me on my website? Go to heatherheynen.com. Heynen is spelled Heynen, and get in touch with questions on all things I offer, like online courses for overeating, weight loss, goal attainment, and also my coaching and counseling services.